So, welcome back, people, to another episode of Highly Unoffended. Welcome back on this beautiful, gorgeous night we're having. Hopefully, you're having a gorgeous night too, wherever you're at. Tonight's episode, once again, this podcast tonight is brought to you by Number Juan Tequila. If you're not number one, you're number two, and who really wants to be number two? Not me. Tonight we got a great episode. We actually have a former guest that came by the studio. He has a really good cause for us tonight. If you remember him from episode 18, the Berlin Turnpike, or as I like to call it, a Pimp in a Crown Vic episode. If you listen to it, you'll figure out why we call it that. We have Mr. Raymond Bechard back. He's the author of the Berlin Turnpike book. If you don't have it, you don't know about it. Check me out on Instagram. I got a picture of it there. Maybe I'll post it later. Pick it up off of Amazon. Very good read. You'll see how, I hate to say it, my boy Tim said it best, we're all complicit. So nobody's better than anybody on this one. So with no further ado, back on Highly Unoffended. Thank you for rocking with us. Kick back, enjoy the ride. Hopefully your mom and your wife let you stay out late, past the street lights and hang out with us tonight. And without any further ado, Raymond, how we doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me again. I know this human trafficking is not the most fun topic to talk about, but I'm so glad you guys are eager to take it on and get it out there and put some light on it.
You know where we stand on this stuff, so more than happy to help you with your cause, your plight, and I'm glad you're here. And, I know a couple months ago, during the winter, everybody was hibernating. You sent me some crazy shit. Oh, you came by, you showed me some crazy shit. I'm like, wow, this stuff is a real deal. So like I said, I was only more than happy to have you back, and you know what I mean? And this is insanity, and everybody's just la-di-da about it.
So one of the reasons I wrote the Berlin Turnpike about human trafficking here in Connecticut is it really exemplified how it happens across the United States. And people were generally shocked that it's like, oh my gosh, human trafficking, the Berlin Turnpike. I've known about the Berlin Turnpike all my life, or they'd say, all those crazy motels on the Berlin Turnpike. There's 1,300 motel rooms today on the Berlin Turnpike. Not a big tourist area, but there's 53 motels and over 1,000 hotel rooms. So in writing the book the way I did, it shocked people to know that it was this close to home, this close right here in one of the wealthiest states in Connecticut. So whereas that was kind of a local issue, and we expanded it to explain how it happens in the United States, like you said, what I came here and showed you a couple months ago was just Twitter. And if you think people were shocked about finding about human trafficking on the Berlin Turnpike, they are just they won't even believe what's on Twitter because they're using Twitter every day, or celebrities or politicians or media people they know are using Twitter every day. Taylor Swift's got over 80 million followers. The Pope has 18 million followers just on Twitter. And the stuff I found on Twitter, and this has nothing to do with the recent sale of Twitter to Elon Musk and all that. This has been going on with Twitter for a long, long time. And they have zero filters on it. You can look up anything, you can find anything, and worst of all, you can sell anything, including people on Twitter. And that's what we're going to show people.
Yeah, when you came over here and you're just like, hey, punch this up. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. And the really interesting part is if you post some of these things on Instagram or Facebook or any of the other major social media platforms, they are gone within 15 seconds. I mean, the computer analytics that they have some people looking at it but they also have just incredibly sophisticated software. So it's not like it's an unsolvable problem. This is an extremely solvable problem. Twitter just won't.
Dude, if you put in a password twice wrong, they close your account.
Yeah.
So don't tell me we ain't got the technology.
Exactly. And the other thing is the search terms that you can look for on Instagram or Facebook or Google, they don't let you search for things that you easily find, not only search for on Twitter, but you can post hashtags with those search terms, and I'll show those in a couple seconds. And that's the really diabolical part. You can also post and search for these things, and it's the complete Wild West.
And they just won't do anything about it.
We have tried. And the problem is, whenever you go to
what is their rebuttal to why they can't? What are they saying? It's too much to keep up with, technology?
It's silence. So if Twitter is not responding at all, they have a policy that's stated on their website that they allow pornography on their website. So they just allow it. And they say we allow consensual pornography. Well, how do they know it's consensual? They are checking all these millions of videos and links and photographs and search terms. The other thing is, when I've gone to the media, I've gone to politicians, I've gone to well-known people. Why don't they want to do anything about it? Because they use it every day. There's no way, local TV station or a national news outlet or a politician who's communicating through Twitter all the time is going to take on Twitter and say, yeah, this is bad. A few organizations have gotten off Twitter recently, not for this reason, but we're trying to build up a critical mass of people to say, listen, this is really bad. Either get off, and because you're on a porn site, you're on a porn site that's exploiting people and promoting human
Talking
trafficking.
about exploiting, I gotta send a big fuck you to Michael Strahan and Good Morning America. Did you see this the other morning with the teen drag? Like a little 13, 14-year-old kid in drag.
No.
And he showed up and they're like, oh my God, your parents are so supportive. A 13, 14-year-old kid. And they got him all
parading him on.
Dude, parading him.
Yeah.
And I seen a video the other day, and it was a Spanish dude, man. I gotta find him. Spanish dude, 31 years old, openly gay dude. And he's like, bro, he said it. You're leading your kids to slaughter. He goes, you're leading them to predators. He goes, what's going on right now? He goes, no.
Thank you that's a great segue into this. Can we start the program up?
Yeah, do it, bro. You're the man. You're running this shit today. I'm in the passenger side today. You came back to run this shit.
So this is a video I've put together. We'll kind of go through it. Some of the things we're going to skip through, but the fact that they've got 450 million active users every month on Twitter. That's not like people who just have a Twitter account or have a fake one. These are active accounts. 450. That's a serious percentage of the world.
I think I check mine once a year.
Yeah, exactly. And when I was talking about search terms, you could also call your profile page anything. Like this one's called Hardcore Porn Teenager, and it's got these search terms that you can hashtag and look up. No filters at all. And again, as I said, has nothing to do with the fact that Musk bought it in October of last year, although he fired a lot of his safety people after he took over. This was happening beforehand. So you see the date on these search terms, and what this says goes back to September. And a lot of these go before that too. So again, I think you knew this. I did this with Facebook 12 years ago.
Yes, we talked about that I was
Facebook had these secret galleries and secret groups, which was able to propagate the Arab Spring, and all these people were able to organize protests through Facebook. And Facebook back then was the golden child, could do no wrong. It was going to be the new democratic global society on Facebook. It really, I know we laugh now, but that's what people really thought, because people were able to go in these dictatorial countries, and they were able to organize protests without anybody knowing because of secret groups. Well, the pedophiles were also on Facebook with secret galleries, and for the first time in history, they were able to trade videos and photos of children being exploited across borders, across languages, all across the world. So it took them out of the basement and validated their behavior. So I found out about, got a few people arrested, and yeah, we got like 1.5 million followers. We had 400,000 people on a petition to Mark Zuckerberg, so they couldn't ignore it anymore, because to address it was to acknowledge that it was happening. They finally acknowledged it. CNN got involved, BBC got involved, and that worked. So we're trying to do the same thing now with Twitter.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah, so the very beginning of it. So what's yeah, let's switch it back there. So yeah, this is some of the stuff. We had all these followers, and that was the name of the cause. It did pretty well. Again, this is just, people don't know what human trafficking is. They don't know the legal definition. I talk to law enforcement, and they don't know what the definition of it is. But it's just where forced fraud, coercion are used, or if the victim's under 18 years of age. That's human trafficking. That's it.
Forced
fraud, or coercion. Any one of those three in the act of a commercial sex act. Any one of those three. It doesn't have to.
So when they got somebody's passport from another country, that would fall under what?
That would fall under coercion.
Coercion, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Sure. Or you're going to come here and you're going to work as a domestic. And
yeah.
Yeah,
you're a nanny here and whatever.
Exactly. But if the person's under 18 years of age, any one of those three legal tests are irrelevant. If you're under 18 years of age, that's human trafficking. So, so some of the content we've got here, again, any search term they want, stuff that's incest, stepdaughters, and if you read some of these posts and what the people are putting up, it's just diabolical. I'm just going to try to lean over here. Again, no search term. Now, what you do is when you find one of these pages that has something like a search term like this is, and you follow it, into Twitter, I was going to say when they went, Twitter will tell you, oh, here are some other pages with the same kind of content. Would you like to follow those as well? And you can just push the button and follow them all.
So now it puts you in that algorithm.
It puts you totally in that algorithm. That's all you're going to get now in your feed is stuff like this, just constantly. And it just gets worse and worse. And this is just a video of just everything under the hashtag on Twitter of teen porn. And it just never stops. It's just endless. And there's more and more every day, and they will not take them down. It just goes on and on. So, but it just gets worse. So from there, all these search terms, and some of these, I mean, obviously, we can't post the photos that are up with this, but right, it is hardcore.
It ain't that kind of show, boys and girls.
Yeah, exactly. It is hardcore pornography, videos, links, photographs, just showing absolutely everything. So, if go back to it, I'll show you how it gets even worse. So yeah, some of these images I've obviously blacked out, but what it ends up doing is it's also allows you to go to different links. And what those links go to, and this is all about, if you read some of these descriptions and what the people are saying. So this is just the very top of a photograph of a girl being abused, tied up to a tree in the woods, naked, and the guy's abusing her and bragging about doing it in the description. The same one here, this girl's tied up, and the description talks about the person just, doing something to his daughter. So there's a lot of just absolutely creepo stuff. And again, it's just very, very negative against women, as you see from this description here and what it says. And this girl has stuff just written all over her.
But it seems like there's an agenda nowadays. I saw a video the other day, and this guy went in front of a school board, and it's actually on my Instagram, and he gives the definition of pervert. And he talks about this book that his kid bought at the library of his middle school, and it's talking about oral sex, anal sex, all this shit, and it's just like, really, dude, at a middle school, and it's just like, let a kid be a kid, bro. You know what I mean? But these motherfuckers want to sexualize children.
And that's what they're doing here.
And it's just, these dudes are a bunch of fucking pervs.
They are. So these are going to escorts, and then it goes to links to human trafficking. So it goes to links to escort services around the world with very young girls, call girl agencies all over the world, escort agencies. This is all Twitter for all over the world. Any country you'd imagine. You can just look up escort in a country. and it's just all there. It's just plain old. It's like Craigslist used to be, hundreds of thousands of listings. But then,
So there's no more personal ads on Craigslist?
no, there are, but there aren't escorts ads. They ended those like 13 years ago, and it's all moved here. These are all just escort ads on Twitter right now, and there's more and more every day.
Because I remember that was a joke back then. Everything was on Craigslist.
Everything was on Craigslist, and then they stopped, and it moved to Backpage.
Me and my buddies, we buy instruments and car parts and shit
Yeah,
on Craigslist. You know what I mean?
exactly right. But you see, this one person has this is her own website. It's a link from Twitter, and you can see her prices and everything.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it gets worse from that. So what it does after that is it comes down to live performances. So pornography online now, and this is including Twitter. Yeah, you can go onto Pornhub and all the other websites, thousands and hundreds of thousands of websites where there's recorded porn. But where it's moving to, especially with VR, is on demand, live, and interactive. So you go onto a link to like Chatterbait or something like this, or OnlyFans, and this is Chatterbait's page on Twitter. So from Chatterbait, you can interact with somebody performing live on Twitter. I'm sorry, on the camera, and they have a vibrator inserted into them, live, on demand, and interactive. And Twitter's just absolutely fine with it, of any kind of live performance you want. But you were talking about recruiting before,
Yeah.
and grooming people. Look at the age of this girl on Chatterbait, directly from Twitter. That's what's happening. And there's all the prices of being able to manipulate these people online. All these are on Chatterbait right now. All these are screen captures. You can see how young they are. All directly from Twitter. But it gets worse than that when they go to like other sites like these. This is younow.com. So anybody can come home after school, set up their phone, set up their laptop, their iPad, and they can just start broadcasting. This girl's 13. She has 32,000 followers and an Amazon wish list. So you can just send her stuff. You don't know where you're sending it to, and then she'll do whatever you want online. This girl has 87,000 followers. She's 15 years old. She's bragging about it. They're 13 years old. All direct off of Twitter onto younow.com. And this girl, this is one I called the FBI on, because she was just, that was clearly a case. So that's what's happening. This is what's happening with Twitter. It's abusive, and it doesn't stop. There's absolutely no filter at all. So that's why we started this campaign, the CleanTwitterNow campaign. People go there and they can find out more and find out how to get involved and help, and start posting on Twitter about this stuff.
It's insanity, what I'm seeing here and there. Just hearing from you that, it's like ordering a pizza.
It's directly from your phone. People used to say, well, it's in our own backyard. Well, no, it's on your phone. I mean, your phone right now is the only thing you need to order a human being. You and I could have somebody delivered here in a half an hour. You know that.
Yep.
Any age, any hair color, any weight, anything. But you can go to Twitter and do it. That's the part that's really strange, because people wake up in the morning, they'll start just scrolling through Twitter.
Yeah, this ain't the dark web.
No,
this ain't.
This is a solvable problem from Twitter. They could solve this in 5 days if they just implemented the software that everybody else is using. Because if any of these things that I just showed you,
you got a theory why they won't, why they don't?
money. I mean, it's just, they're trying to figure out how to monetize Twitter to a better degree. But so the more restrictions they put on it, the less eyeballs they have on it, so the less eyeballs they have to sell. Not only that, but they're collecting data on everybody who's going to those pages so they can sell those to other services. So, I mean, the amount of data that social media platforms collect on us, everybody, as we scroll through, is insane. I mean, it's frightening. So when you're looking at this stuff, it gets even worse. So that's all. So I have one fake Twitter account, that I use to investigate this stuff. And I have one phone that just for that. It just is infected with everything. I mean, no matter what I go to, where I go to, it just shows me that stuff over and over again. Yeah. Because it's not just the fact that it's out there and it's happening, it's selling people. It's also making it very, very easy for young people to get recruited because they're putting themselves up. They want to get the attention as much as anybody else. So they go on TikTok or they go on Twitter, especially, and they'll broadcast themselves up there. And it doesn't matter what they're doing. If they're home after school and they're 14 years old and they're showing everything and doing stuff, but they just got 1,000 likes or they just got a bunch of stuff sent to them.
I'm so cool. I got 1,000 likes.
And I got some stuff sent to me from Amazon. It's okay. They're commodifying themselves. They're not.
If anybody wants to send anything Amazon to me, I'll take toilet paper, paper towels.
Yeah.
It's summertime.
All the sexy stuff.
I could use like Windex and a lot of car wax for for the motorcycles and the cars.
Yeah, light bulbs are good.
You know what I mean? Yeah, light bulbs, the LEDs and shit. Murphy's oil.
It's funny to look through some of these wish lists, and it's funny, but it's also really scary because if you actually go onto the wish list of some of these younger people, they're literally asking for like stuffed animals and toys on their wish list.
Yuck.
Yeah, exactly. So they're totally commodifying themselves. But here's the other thing. So you've got somebody who's looking to be popular on one of these websites on Twitter, and they're getting 1,000 likes. And then you've got somebody who's looking to recruit new girls, and they start to instant message or DM them and saying, "Hey, you're really amazing. Wow, let's meet. You want to make more money. You want to do this. You want to do that." So they don't have to walk around the mall anymore. They don't have to drive around and look for anybody. All they have to do is scroll through Twitter and find other girls who are doing this, girls and boys. So like you were saying before, with the young people and the books that kids in middle school are looking at, they're giving them. If you really want to help them, take Twitter away. Because it's not only what they're seeing.
It's not more nobody driving her white in the white panel van with no glass.
You just need a phone to a phone. That's all you need.
Damn.
It's not the books in the library, man. It's Twitter. They're selling themselves on Twitter, and they're doing it willingly. And the pimps and the traffickers know absolutely.
It just like I said, I'm not a TikTok, whatever the fuck it is. I don't, but it just seems like you got all these little girls on it, man, acting real crazy on it. I'm just like, yeah, that ain't for me, dude.
It is scary.
I don't give a fuck what dance you do, but yeah, that's just.
And so
to me, it just seems like perv central.
It is absolutely. And you've got parents who, they want to take pictures of the young girls doing gymnastics or ballet. But you go on some of these sites and it's just people that have stolen those videos off of social media, and now they're posting them on their own websites because it's like an 8-year-old girl doing splits.
I got a friend of mine out. She got 2 daughters, like a year or 2 apart, and they're doing the gymnastics thing, the cheerleading thing, and and like I don't, I'm a conservative dude, but I don't understand. It's like, okay, your daughter's out there cheering. What the fuck is it with all the war paint on a fucking 12-year-old girl on her face?
War paint?
All the makeup.
I haven't seen that.
But you see these girls, they're all fucking.
They're like totally made up.
Dude, they look like women of the night. And why the fuck does she need that to dance?
Like they're 40.
Yeah, I don't get that. So a friend of mine, shout out Bo. And so she goes to the cheerleading coach. She's like, hey, just so you know, there'll be none of that in my household. So, the cheerleading coach is like, well, it's about this. She goes, look, she goes, you're having this conversation with me. I'm helping you. You don't want to have this conversation with my redneck country-ass husband, special forces. He goes, so you know what? I'm just telling you, my daughters will not be fucking putting that shit on their face. It ain't happening. It ain't going down like that on our watch. So just so you know. And then that was the end of that. But like I said, what do you need a 13-year-old girl doing gymnastics and all that? A fucking
stage makeup.
Why, bitch? This ain't kabuki theater. The fuck is that all about? No, why? So some fucking perv could get his jollies off, man?
And they're taking those videos, they're making their own websites with them. It's just amazing. And that stuff's allowed everywhere. So if it's a girl doing gymnastics, Instagram, Facebook's not going to take it down. But you'll look at some guys' websites and it's some guy our age, and all of his videos are just these little girls doing gymnastic splits.
Yeah.
And he's got 1,000 followers watching what he's going to put up every day. But
him and his fellow fucking pervs.
Yeah, exactly. But again, going back to Twitter, they allow anything and everything. And, they'll say that it says right in their policy statement, we allow consensual pornography. How the hell do they know it's consensual? Because there's millions of these videos and photographs on their website, on their platform. How do they know they're consensual? Especially when you've got a girl tied up and abused and being slapped and punched and raped.
How she signed the waiver when she was tied up?
Yeah, exactly. Put the pen in your mouth and sign it that way. It's just, it's the search terms they allow: rape, rape kink, rape slut.
Yeah, you showed me that when you were here before you took off, and I was just like, I was floored. I forgot. I was telling either Tim or Ramon about it. I was like, yeah, that's insanity.
It's just it, and it's all right there. So nobody wants to look at it. As I said, if we're on Twitter and people wake up and people are watching this and listening to this, they're waking up in the morning, they're looking at Twitter, on their lunch break, they're watching TV at night, scrolling through Twitter. Are we not complicit if we're doing that? Because we're just going to that site and saying, well, I'm okay with that. I'm not looking at that stuff. Well, it's like going into a business that is doing shady stuff in the back room, that is hurting people back there. And that's in the back room. I'm only going to buy what's in the front of the store. It's the same thing. So my point is, if Twitter could be fine if they would just implement the same software and policies that the other social media platforms have. Not only that, but they have fired hundreds of their safety and security staff since October. So it's gotten even worse. And that's not me saying it. That's people from NCMEC saying it, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, from law enforcement, other people in the media saying, wow, this was bad before. It's going to get just way worse now that all these people have been fired. So, and that's when sometimes we look at these problems, especially like human trafficking, and you think, oh, God, what's the answer here? It's too huge a problem. This one has an answer. This one has an absolute, definite, solvable answer to it.
But unfortunately, the monkey wrench is the almighty dollar.
Yeah, exactly. And again, as I said, you go to the media, you go to legislators, you go to anybody to bring this problem to them, and they don't want to do anything about it because they're on Twitter, and they use it every day to communicate their message out. So they don't want to mess with the one thing that gets their message out to however many thousands or hundreds or millions of followers.
Don't fuck with my platform.
Exactly. But they're complicit too, because it's right there. So we're trying to get to the point where somebody will have the courage to stand up and say, hey, can you just implement the same safety procedures everybody else is using so that people aren't getting sold and exploited on your website? That's it. And they can do it. They could do it in a week. They just won't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think you got a hard fight ahead of you.
Yeah.
But you're a committed dude, Raymond, and I applaud you for it. And you're definitely out there doing your due diligence. Seems like you're knocking on the doors. You're shaking the tree, see what falls, see what doesn't fall. And, you're at it, man. You're at it.
We're trying.
Oh, I give you mad props, man. You're at it. And
thank you for, you're one of the few people that have listened to the whole thing.
No, man, because it's just, I'm not with it. I'm not with the program. And from our first time and when I read your book, and when my cohort Tim said we're all complicit, that shit hit me, man. And I wasn't cool with it.
Yeah.
And he goes, dude, I'll never drive down the pike with the same blind ignorance again.
Yeah. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And that's what I'm hoping to do with Twitter, is once people see it, they see this, they've seen what's on there, they can't unsee it. So when they want to open that tab on their phone, they can't not think about what else.
People don't realize that, like, if a couple million people unite, it's going to make a dent in them, and they're going, it's going to monkey wrench them.
It did with Facebook. It actually worked with Facebook, and it was just me.
It's just like I always, say, what happened if freaking half the fucking population say, you know what, we ain't going to work tomorrow.
Yeah, everything stops.
Let's watch that stock market.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to have people go, oh shit,
Yeah.
These fucking guys didn't go to work.
It worked with Facebook 10 years ago, and it was just me doing it with, alone with no money, just going online and saying, hey, this is, and it took years. It took years, but I just wouldn't stop. I'm not stopping with this either.
My man. Nah, man, you committed, brother, and you know what I mean. I think, it's not going to be a Mike Tyson knockout. I think it's going to be a knuckle drag out.
Yeah.
Arturo Gatti style. We're going to go to the last round, and
I tend to, me. I kind of work from the shadows, so no one ever sees me coming, and they're like, where'd this come from? And just all of a sudden it's there, and that's what we're trying to do. That's why I say it takes a critical mass of people, like you just mentioned. It takes a lot of people, but I'm just trying to build it up as much as possible, so people say,
just like anything. I think a lot of people don't. I think they don't get it until it hits home, or till. I used to always laugh at young guys, when I was in law enforcement. I was one of the CPR instructors. Dudes would go to CPR training. They didn't give a fuck about it. And then all of a sudden, a certification was every 2 years. So every 2 years, you had to get just everybody retrained. So it'd be like a year later, you get some guy come up to you, and during training, you would give everybody like a little CPR cheat sheet. And you would tell them you could put it on your fridge at home. You could go to the copier, hit 40%, bring it down to wallet size, laminate the bitch if you want, throw it in the wallet.
Yeah.
But you would have guys come up to you and go, hey, can I get one of those cheat sheets? You're like, huh? And you look at them and go, let me guess, you having a fucking kid. Yeah. Oh, now that it's pertinent to your world, you care.
That's exactly right.
Now that it's relevant.
Yeah.
Now you want to know. Now you care.
That would be a great thing. Imagine if the groundswell of people we got on this cause and got against Twitter was all fathers. Imagine if fathers just got together and said, oh my God, because it's not just girls, it's girls and boys, obviously, that they're abusing and exploiting. That would be amazing. And is there any father out there who would really want to see their kid being exploited this way, or letting themselves be exploited this way?
No.
Exactly.
So
I would be great to rally all the dads and say, what are you going to do about this? And that's what I'm asking them.
I think you should fucking start FAT, Fathers Against Twitter. You know what I mean? And I think fucking, especially guys are, a lot of ego, and make them say, hey man, do you want your kid making these fucked up videos, shaking their shit, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's way worse.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I see that stuff, and I'm just like, I have a problem when, I like salsa dancing, and when I see some of these parents putting their daughters in these competitions and they got them with these skins, I'm like, no, dude, there ain't no need for none of that shit. And I'm just like, no, she's dancing, bro. She's not dancing for my fucking entertainment. And I just don't know how people can't see that like some perv's gonna take your kid's video.
Oh God.
And I'm just like, and I just don't understand how people could be so fucking oblivious to it.
They're completely blind to it. And the kids go along with it, because they totally go along with it. So imagine like when you and I were growing up, if we wanted to see, pornography, we had to find a magazine.
Come
somewhere.
on, dude.
We had to hide with the magazine somewhere.
You know what I mean? We remember when a movie like Porky's was risque.
Oh my God, that was exactly. But now,
yeah, we're showing our age. That's all right, bro. We're amongst friends here. But
now 7 and 8 year olds can see stuff that I didn't even know existed till after I got out of college. And it's normalized to them, completely normalized. And because it's on Twitter, which everybody uses, from the president to the CEO to their parents, it must be okay because that's where it is. So it's completely normalized to them. So it's sexualizing them and commodifying them at a younger and younger age all the time. That's the really diabolical part about it.
Fucking pervs.
Yeah.
Fucking pervs.
And it's validating their behavior too, because hey, it's on Twitter. It can't be that bad. Look, it's okay. It's right here. I'm not going to a porn site. I'm going to Twitter and seeing it. And you can see everything you see on a porn site and pay for it, you can see on Twitter.
Yuck. Yeah. So hopefully you make leaps and bounds, Raymond. Hopefully you got some big steps, or small steps that get you somewhere soon.
Thank you.
And here at the show, well, we got your back all the way, kid.
I thank you.
We're down for your cause, brother. You know what I mean? Anything you need out of us, we're here for you because we're definitely not down with the ship. And like I said, any little way that we can help, bro, motherfucker, you know where the studio's at. Like I said, freaking.
I'll just come pound on the door and
Exactly.
let me in front of your microphone.
Exactly. Start screaming. But now we're here for you, man.
Thank you.
And anything else you want to touch upon here?
That's really
That's
it right
it.
now. If people want to find me, I'm online, and if they want to just go to cleantwitternow.com. I think I also mentioned, one of the videos we posted a long time ago called Snow Bunny on YouTube. It's got way over 1 million views, and it's right along I did with NYPD some years ago, and it took me 10 years. I never saw her again after that night. We, found her in the back of a trailer truck and talked to her, and she walked off in the night. We never found her. Got a message from her on Facebook 10 years later, and I thought she was gone. I didn't think she was on this earth anymore. Went down, interviewed her again in New York, nice little apartment with her young son, and I was like, wow, finally, someone got out of the life. Somebody came off of the blade. That blade is what they call the track now. Mm-hmm. But then about 2 months ago, probably early March of this year, 2023, I got a call from her sister saying she's missing again. This girl, Tara Barbarossa. And I talked to NYPD detectives, and they've been looking for her. So again, we're just hoping she's still on the earth. And that's it. Just look at Snow Bunny on YouTube, and you can see her whole story. That's a pretty interesting one as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So the work continues, and thank you for helping with it.
Oh, dude, always. Well, people, thank you for taking the ride with us tonight. Like I said, don't forget to check out Ray's book. You can check him out on episode 18 with us here at Highly Unoffended. Once again, thank you for coming from the ride. Good night, America, wherever you are. Let's try to treat each other a little bit better. Have a good night.